And welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am the Corey C. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. It's football season, and you do not want to miss the show. We're everywhere. The Apple Podcast app, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you can find your podcast. Just Google Tiger Talk with 1400 Club. Make sure you follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk, it all helps the cause, which is the I Love Jackson State University. And today's episode is brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games, available to play right from your phone. So head on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, for your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Okay, it's finally here. Game week. We've been waiting a little bit over 8 months for this, and no better way to kick things off than a week 0 matchup in the A with the familiar foe. And I'll be honest, it's no secret. We want a little get back. So we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna bring in a familiar face, familiar voice at least, a new face to us. Because last time we couldn't see him, we could hear him, but now we can see the face. He is the man to tell us all about this opponent, South Carolina State, the Director of Athletic Media Relations for South Carolina State, Kendrick D. Lewis. Welcome back to the show.
I appreciate you for having me, man. Definitely. It's been a long time coming, I tell you. After last season, 3-8, I'm excited about getting back into football. I get nervous when I go to practice. I'm up at 6 o'clock at practice with the guys, like I'm about to play on Saturday. So yeah, we excited about Saturday, definitely.
Right, man. I can imagine for you a busy week, man. Probably busier than most weeks throughout the season because it's the first game.
It is very much so. I've been grinding like I think since Sunday is all Coach Pugh's interviews, setting them up, making sure he's where he need to be. Forgot about an interview today with ESPN. I was like, because I was doing so much other stuff, so I had to rush and find him and get him online, him and the coordinators and everything. So it's been a grind. But at the end of the day, when Saturday gets here, you get a chance to see two phenomenal teams go against each other and clash it out. It's all worth it. Win or lose, I love it. I love it. Definitely.
We want to talk about it, but first things first. I mentioned, it's been a minute since we last spoke. It was, like I said, back in December 2021, leading up to the Celebration Bowl, when we had you on the show. Now, as much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to be fair. And I'm going to give you your moment. I expected us to win that game. There was absolutely no doubt in my mind. Probably a little bit confident, overconfident, maybe even cocky or arrogant going into that game. But we know how things turned out. So this is going to be my last time ever in life reliving that game right here with you. All right. So the 2021 Celebration Bowl. Champions, Black college football national champions. Congratulations on the win.
I appreciate that.
You have the floor. 30 seconds, though. That's it.
I got a hat for you too, right here. I wore it just for you, national champs. You know what? To be honest with you, Corey, nobody gave us a chance in that game. It was like David versus Goliath. The media disrespect us. We worked the media. You know how it is. They disrespected us. Jackson State disrespected us. It was just like we weren't even there. And our players took it kind of personal, and that game was like the highlight of my career because at the end of the day, that's the first time I've ever seen Coach Pugh cry.
Wow.
And because it meant something to him because, those guys work so hard, and we just, one thing we'd always say is, hey, it's not about beating beyond, it's about, hey, we won the Celebration Bowl. So we don't, but that's in 2002, that's 21. So we moved past that. We just want to get back. So yeah, and then it was great for the university as well. Enrollment went up. The Celebration Bowl is a classic. It is a classy bowl, and it's growing. And you guys been there like back to back, so you know how.
Don't remind me.
But great game. You guys didn't. You guys, I mean, come on, it's Jackson State. Everybody wants to play Jackson State.
Definitely.
So but we appreciate the love from everybody. It's just been great. We just want to get back.
No doubt. Well, it starts in Atlanta. We say down here, start in the A and finish in the A. I imagine you guys can say or are saying the same thing, but we're starting this weekend, of course, coming up the MEAC-SWAC Challenge, week 0 college football season, national broadcast on ABC. That's always huge. I know Coach Pugh and Coach TC Taylor recently talked about the exposure, and all eyes will be on that game. So you kind of hinted at it earlier, but what's the buzz like around Orangeburg right now?
Oh, excited. I mean, we got the alums still trying to get tickets. We like, hey, we don't have any tickets. All our tickets are gone. Like, they're pretty much, I think one of the things that we're 3-1 in the MEAC-SWAC. You guys are what, 0-2? That's scary. That's scary. You know what I'm saying? Because those tables can turn really quick. But to play you guys in Atlanta again, and it could be a possibility that we might see you again in December. It's amazing. It's just, the atmosphere is gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a dogfight too. Because y'all. I think TC Coach Taylor said they had about 60 or 70 newcomers. I mean, new players.
Yeah.
We only took 3.
I noticed.
We only took 3, and I think people ask, "Oh man, how's that gonna look?" You gotta understand something now. The same guys that was on that Celebration Bowl championship team are still on our team.
I wanted to ask you about that.
They're still
many
there.
Guys.
So you're talking about almost the whole offensive line, almost the whole defensive line. Jablonski Green, he's back. Corey Fields is back. Patrick Godbold is back. Aaron Smith, first start was in the Celebration Bowl, caught an interception. I think he ran it. I don't know if he ran it back with a touchdown. He's back. And so those guys are pretty, like, they're excited, and I think they like each other. That's what's surprising about me. When a team like each other, you got to be kind of scared of them. Like, okay, they might actually pull together and win some games this year. So, it's been a great preseason being around those guys, just seeing how much they help each other up. Nobody's beating each other up. Nobody's, it's just they're taking ownership. So. And I told Coach, I said, Coach, man, most teams got one leader. We got about 30 leaders. On both sides of the ball. Everybody's holding each other accountable. So this team might be okay. I'm not gonna say we'll win it all, but they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
Yeah, of course, I know that's the goal, to win it all, and it's always interesting just kind of seeing, because when you're in the spring and camp leading up to the season, hitting each other, that's one thing, but once that team has to face someone else, you never know, because these are young kids, young adults rather, so you never know. But before we talk about this upcoming season, this upcoming team, I just want to rewind back to 2022, because disappointing season for you guys, especially coming off a national championship. 3-8 on the season, 1-4 in the MEAC. So give us a quick rundown of that season, maybe what went wrong and things like that.
Coming off beating D Jackson State, like taking down a team like you guys in 21, we came in with the big head. Thought we already had everything figured out, and you had some guys that didn't buy in. Just didn't do the right thing. And to see Coach go through that was kind of heartbreaking, because he's a winner. He doesn't have too many 3-8 seasons, and it was just after Central, we just thought we was in Atlanta. And everybody reassured us, hey, you're still in Orangeburg. You're not in Atlanta yet. And it was a tough season. Corey, we lost Corey, midway through conference. Richard Bailey broke his foot, which is Mr. Dependable, number 86. This guy's like, one of the smallest guys on the field, but guess what? He does the right thing. So we had a lot of injury bugs, and then the guys they just like, I wouldn't say throwing the towel. They just wasn't mentally there anymore after that. After the Morgan loss, it was downhill after that. But Coach Pugh, hey, he licked his wounds. He got back up, made some adjustments to his staff, to his team, and these guys are like, okay, we got a mission, So yeah, it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. It was, too much. I mean, you couldn't really defend us, because we were just getting beat every week. So, but we made some adjustment, and I think this year's gonna be different. Definitely, I do.
You talk about making adjustments and looking forward to this upcoming season. You guys picked to finish 3rd in the preseason poll, and 10 players overall on the preseason All MEAC team. So, would you say there's some cause for optimism heading into the season?
I think they respect South Carolina State despite how we finished because
Mhm.
if you ask anybody, we should be at the bottom of the barrel. After that season. But let's be real now. If you look at the roster, you got a lot of returners back, so we'll take third place. We definitely don't want to be number one because
Mhm.
we haven't earned that right yet. And some of the guys were kind of bitter, like hey, I'm not on all MEAC team. Well, we don't believe in preseason
Right.
accolades.
Same here.
We believe in postseason. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. And coach, we always preaches that model. Hey, it's just preseason. No one has really earned anything yet. So so we're gonna do what needs to be done, and
Mhm.
see what it and see if we can get back to Atlanta in December.
Mhm. Yeah. We mentioned the guys on the preseason All MEAC team, and I do want to dive into some names, kind of give them some shine. But we got to start with the quarterback. You already mentioned his name. I knew it wouldn't be too long before his name came up. I think it took about 30 seconds. But he's a household name in HBCU football. So how important is it to have him back and healthy? And then how hungry is he to have a bounce back season? Because I think it's going to start with him.
If anybody ever sits down and talks to this kid one on one, he is his own worst critic,
Mm-hmm.
and he was hurt by last year. He feel like he let the guys down, but you can't when you're injured, you can't really control that. But to have Corey back on the field, as a coach on the field,
Mm-hmm.
he knows his offense. That's his team, and coach, we trust him. So we're excited about Corey. It's Corey's team,
Mm-hmm.
and they follow Corey. They'll go to war for Corey. So it's important that Corey, get off to a good start, but his confidence level is like out of the roof this year. He's a confident young man. I had the pleasure of taking him down to Norfolk, and on the ride down,
Mm-hmm.
he knows where he went wrong last year, and he's just so confident, like it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. So we're blessed to have a guy like Corey. We better enjoy him because next year we got to start back over again with,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
another quarterback. So
Yeah.
yeah, Corey is a great guy. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's just a leader, pure
Yeah.
leader.
And he's been there, right? Because I want to say when we played you guys a couple years ago, he had already graduated, at least in the classroom or something, and he was
Yes,
still
yes,
had more eligibility. So you talk about a mature veteran.
yes. He's Corey's about to graduate with his master's.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Good
so
stuff.
he's very mature,
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
mature, and he
Right.
owns his own. When you mess up, he owns it. You don't you
Yeah.
don't you don't put it off on anybody else. So we're blessed. Central they got a great quarterback. We got a great quarterback too. So
Right. Right.
we feel like that with Corey Fields.
And with those weapons around him, talk about some of the other key offensive returners.
Well, the biggest blessing is our offensive line. You return some all MEAC guys. Eric Brown at center, Nick Tace, Cam Johnson. Those guys were there in Atlanta 2 years ago. They were freshmen when they
We're
won it.
freshmen. I remember.
They were
Mm-hmm.
freshmen. You got those guys
Yeah,
coming
that's
back.
crazy.
We have a little different look at the wide receiver slot. Losing Shaq to the
Yep.
to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna it's gonna be a little different look. But we get Richard Bailey back, who broke his foot, so we get him back.
Mm-hmm.
And and you got young guys like Jordan Smith, Justin Smith Brown. You know, it's going to be an adjustment at that wide receiver slot. But the fact is, we got some running backs that we think are pretty good, young freshmen. Got a long way to go. But the key is the offensive line. They can protect Corey, so we're
Mm-hmm.
really excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're interested in seeing how you guys are going to replace. I mean, I don't know if you can replace a Shaq
Yeah,
Davis with one person, but we talk about your leading receiver who essentially carried the offense last season, double-digit touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. So we're happy to see him go. We don't want to have to cover him again, but we look forward to seeing who you guys have in the ranks in the pipeline coming up. And then on top of that, you'll be breaking in a brand new offensive coordinator as well,
yes.
but it'll be his second stint as OC at South Carolina State. So talk about that.
We call him Squirt McGurk. So his name is Kevin McGurk because he's a short guy. I pick at him all the time, but one of the great offensive minds, I think personally, um, in HBCU. He was there for the three-peat, 8, 9,
Mm.
and 10. He was the OC then.
Wow.
So he's a winner. He knows how to coach. He knows how to develop quarterbacks, but you don't have to develop Corey. You
Mm-hmm.
just tell Corey, hey, you got to spread the ball out now. You don't have Shaq anymore. You can't go to Shaq every time. So that means you're gonna have 4 or 5 receivers that's gonna get some love. So he's big on that. We got some tight ends now. We got some pretty tight ends that's pretty good. And I think Squirt. I don't want to call him Squirt and he get mad at me, but I'm so used to. I think Coach McGurk is one of those type of guys that he's going to keep the basics. If it's working, he's going to stick to it, and we're not going to be too predictable. You're not going to say, okay, those guys going to throw on first and second, and run on third. So I think last year we got a little comfortable. Mm-hmm. But McGurk is a great addition to our offense. He like I said, he's a winner. He's won 3 titles with us, and he came back, to help us win another one. So we're excited about him, definitely.
And then moving over to the defensive side of the ball, who are some key returners there? I know you mentioned some offensive linemen a couple of years ago when we played you guys who were freshmen starting, but I want to say there were some defensive linemen back then as well, freshmen who were either starting or heavy in the rotation.
Oh yeah. You bring back, and it's funny. I don't even have my depth chart in front of me, but I know these guys you bring back Octavian Mentor, Brandon Tucker, Kursky, Gerard Kursky, but the 2 keys are Jablonski Green and Patrick Gobble up front. Mm-hmm. But that whole defensive front played in the Celebration Bowl 2 years ago. Mm. So they're back. And then you look at the linebacker spots. I mean, you got Aaron Smith, leader, hands down. And then we bring in Aiden Weber from Delaware State. His highlight film was on us. So, you got a seasoned linebacker from Delaware State that when he sends a highlight film to South Carolina State, it's him killing us. So we add him in the mix, And then you bring it, and then we got a young guy we think is going to be great for us. Zanjeri, Zanjeri last name. Zan, we call him Zan. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be great. Secondary, we're blessed to have Jalen Evans back. He got hurt last year, so he came in. He played with Darius, so that tells you how long he's been in South Carolina State. Darius Leonard. So, then we got Malcolm McGee from the SWAC. He transferred in. And DeMarcus Doe. So we got some leaders in both secondary linebacker spot, but the key is that defensive front. Mm-hmm. The key is defensive front, and we're excited about them. And then, of course, we got a new DC, Thomas Howard. Yep. He's a steal. I mean, I don't know how Coach pulled it off, but I say, hey, we'll take him. We'll take him. He was with that A&T crew that was kicking everybody's butt for years. Mm-hmm. So we got him over here, and the guys love him. But Coach was like, I talked to him and I said, Coach, what do you think about South Carolina State? He said, it's unbelievable. He's like, I'm not even talking about the guys you have here. I'm talking about the freshmen you guys got that's waiting to play. He's like, okay, it was a no-brainer for him. It was a no-brainer. So, we got some new coaches, new mix, and we're gonna see how things gonna go on Saturday. I mean, you guys, Jackson State has a whole nother mix, even with their leader. That's scary. We know nothing about what you guys are gonna do. Nothing. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how everything play out.
Right. Now, one big loss on defense was linebacker B.J. Davis, who led the team with 94 tackles last season. He even had 5 interceptions, which is impressive coming from the linebacker position. He's a guy who I'm sure you were hoping to have back, but he hit the portal as a grad transfer and was actually named all AAC preseason first team, which is pretty impressive.
Yes.
But talk about the void that he's leaving. I know you mentioned another linebacker who's stepping up as a leader, but the void that he's leaving and what it'll take to fill it. I mean, was he much of a vocal guy or more of a lead by example guy?
He was more lead by example guy. BJ, you can't replace BJ's energy.
Okay.
He's the type of guy you could compare him to Darius Shaquille. You could compare him, but they're different. But BJ probably was on every play that was known to man. He's just a high octane guy with energy. You can't replace a guy like him. He had a great career for us. We wish him well. Definitely, for him to stay healthy, have a prosperous season at East Carolina. But he don't owe us nothing. He helped us win a national title. Mm-hmm. He don't owe us anything. So he made a decision to transfer out, and we respect that. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely missed. Him and Shaq are definitely missed. You lose a star on offense, you lose a star on defense. Mm-hmm. But like Coach you say, we just move on. Mm-hmm. There's another BJ and another Shaq somewhere. We just gotta find him.
Yeah, you gotta find him. Yeah. And when it comes to losing players, not like Shaq, because obviously he went on to the NFL draft, but BJ, we're talking about losing him to the portal. That seems to be the thing in today's college football, that portal, but not really at South Carolina State. And you kind of alluded to it earlier. Coach Pugh only brought in 3 transfers, which is that's kind of unheard of, right? With most schools, especially on our level. But he's known for developing talent from within. And you just said it, your new DC was so excited about the freshmen. right?
Yes.
Well, a lot of times coaches are looking at the transfers, the veteran guys who can come in and immediately contribute.
Right.
But that seems like the formula that Coach Pugh is sticking to for the most part, just developing his guys and not really being in the portal.
Oh yeah, I think one of the reasons why we have so much success, like back to back in years, is because we stay in the state of South Carolina. If you go to our roster, you're gonna have about 70 or 80 kids from South Carolina. You know, we stay in the state to get the talent. And coach, like most coaches go to like transfers and the portal.
Mhm.
We love high school kids. We love freshmen. We love developing these kids so we can win years back to back. So we have a great recruiting class. I mean, it's gonna be we're gonna be fun to watch for years to come. So, that's one thing I love about Coach. Coach, like, nah, he's I'd rather stay home and get my kids. You know, I don't believe in the portal. So I'm surprised he took 3 because he only take 1.
Oh, okay, so that was more than that was more than normal or more than he would expect. Wow, that's something.
Yeah,
I mean, that's funny because on this side, it's the opposite. We had no choice but to rely on that portal with the coaching change and the roster shakeup. But Coach Pugh even talked about not knowing who our quarterback is. And our staff has done a good job of keeping it a secret. But do you have a sense of how challenging it may be for Coach Pugh and his staff to prepare for a team that he just doesn't know anything about?
It's very challenging. Talk about it all the time. Very challenging. You think about it now. We know nothing about Jackson State. You know, that's not the same team. It's not the same energy. It's not the same, coaching staff. You know, as a new leader, like one of the things I respect about TC was at the press conference in Atlanta, he was ready to get over and he said, I need to get back to my guys. I need to get back to my guys. I need to get back to my guys.
First practice.
And I was like, so I was like, hey, coach, I was like, that sounds like you back in the day, you know? And but we're going in blind. All we know is this, we got our hands full. And we just gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna stick to South Carolina State football and let the chips fall where they fall. You know, even I tease my guy Dwayne Lewis all the time. The SID at Jackson. I said, hey man, can I get a depth chart? A real depth chart? No. So it's all love though.
It's hard for me to get a depth chart. I have to go to practice and just see with my own eyes. They keep it a secret. They keep it a secret. They know if it gets out, it probably comes from somebody like me. So I can't talk.
But Jackson you guys, your first 2 games are going to be like critical to the season, right? I mean, when you guys play
FAMU, then Southern.
Oh, yeah. I wish you well.
The past 2 seasons, that game has determined the SWAC East, so we expect it to be the same this season. So yeah. So I'm glad that we have I don't want to call you a tune-up game, but a game that doesn't count in the standings. I'll say doesn't count in the SWAC. Let this new team kind of figure itself out before we have to play band.
Yeah, and I said that too when I said, you know what? I said you better get Jackson now. I said because if they get it rolling midway through that season, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over for a lot of teams in the SWAC because you think about it. I keep telling you, man. I was like, you better look at TC track record. He don't lose too much now. He don't, and he know how to make adjustments. So so it's gonna be fun to watch him and Coach Simmons down in FAM. Oh man, I wish I can attend one of those games. I can only imagine how that clashing is. I watch it on TV when I get a chance, but not knowing anything about Jackson is rough for us. But we'll be okay.
Coach Pugh, now he's been doing his homework, of course. Now that's obvious he's been doing his homework, but he spoke about it, which I was kind of surprised to hear him say this. But he talked about this Jackson State team and compared it to the team that he faced in 2021, which was a team that he's now admitting. This is the part that I was surprised about. He's admitting that they weren't quite sure if they could match up with. He's saying that now. He says that this 2023 team is even better. But I want to let you know, Kendra, we're not falling for that gamesmanship. We're not falling for it. He's a seasoned veteran. He knows what he's doing. They don't call him the dean of MEAC coaching. I call him the dean of HBCU coaching for nothing. So I think he's trying to butter us up.
I think with Coach respects the program. And I promise you, I think I was more scared than Coach Pugh in 21. I'm like, Lord, I hope this thing don't get ugly, And then again, I just saw how I was like, if we hang around at half, I think we'll be okay. I said, if we put some pressure on Shador, he'll quit. He'll quit. And I'm not saying he quit. He kept looking around. He wasn't the same guy in the second half that he was in the first half. So trust me, we had to rise to the occasion. We had too many fans there, but on paper, we were definitely outmatched. Right. Definitely outmatched. So Coach might be right. Coach spent more time on film than I do. So if he's saying this team is better, he might be right.
Mm-hmm.
We know after Saturday, right?
Yeah. One thing that he said a couple times, I've heard him say it, and even on both sides, Coach TC as well. Coach Buddy Pugh has just talked about how he admires and respects Coach Taylor. They've had battles with Coach TC, of course, coming from the MEAC or coaching in the MEAC as offense coordinator. So it'll be interesting. You're talking about the longest tenured coach in HBCU football versus the newest coach in HBCU football. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing TC knows, Coach Taylor knows the MEAC, so don't get it twisted. We're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, he's a first year head coach." He's not.
Yeah,
he's seasoned. He's just a little young. That's all that is. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Like I say, he reminds me of Coach in his younger days. So, he'll do some great things at Jackson. So you guys got a great coach, no doubt, definitely.
No doubt. All right. So this Saturday again, ABC national broadcast. Looking forward to it. Atlanta. When are you getting to Atlanta?
We get there Friday morning.
All right. Friday. Definitely. All right. Well, safe travels. I don't know. Do I say good luck or how do we do this? We just say be safe. How about that?
How about that? Yeah, we'll say that. Be safe. Safe travels and see you in Atlanta.
Safe travel.
All right.
All right, man. As always, we appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Okay. Take care.
All right, bro.
All right. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.